Yeah, this is a reasonable map. This is one that they are very comfortable on, even though, once again, their statistics will not display that because their statistics have been tanked by their first season. You can see they're 30%, whereas Hot Lady, clean 50.
50 is definitely better than 30, so can Soa work on their statistics? We're gonna find out. I just remember, I think it was Kiss in Phase 1 where they kind of pulled off a miracle and just won a single map on Curse Hollow with Palmy and the Medic God. I want Soa to do something very similar. I want something to catch their opponents off guard, something they weren't expecting. Maybe pull off the Morales and go for some global plays. Never know.
Morales has made a very slight resurgence. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, definitely wouldn't hate it.
Me neither. For now, let's see what we're going for. Dahaka being hovered as the first ban. This is a very large map, so all globals are going to be prioritized. Speaking of which, no Abathur so far today, despite us seeing both Sky and Towers.
Yeah. And you know what? I want a team like Soa to play the fall set now. I know Uncle G does no longer play the range flex, range assassin role, but they have been doing admirably well whenever they played Falstad last season. Uncle G, Tank Ovo, those were some awesome players on that hero. And it just seems to fit Soa's style as well. Sometimes going for the global split push, sometimes going for a very RPG-esque style, avoiding straight-up confrontations and playing the macro a little bit more. Except for last game where they didn't do it and they lost the game because of it. So, yeah. I don't know.
Very true. And Tass. And out. So we're going to have a Tassus game. It was effective last game, very effective last game, getting that extra radius on the storm very quickly and just burning through those shrines.
I would love to know the win rate of Tassadar here in China thus far. It seems to me that he's been doing exceptionally well and not getting enough bans, in my opinion, for this region in particular.
Okay. Well, let me find out for you. Tassadar, Genji first pick. All regions, China, all tournaments. We'll do just this phase.
Just this phase, because I don't think there was such an emphasis on him last season.
Okay. Tassadar has an 89% win ratio, 41 out of 46 matches. Oh, sorry, no, that's pick. Sorry. 41,
I was gonna say 89.
Yeah,
Holy cow!
Picked 41 out of 46 matches.
Okay.
He has a 62% win rate, 17 out of 27 matches,
which is still very, very respectable. 62 is insane.
It is. Indeed it is. Wait, hang on. How's that working? Oh, the popularity includes bans. Okay, so he's been picked or banned in 41 out of 46.
Gotcha.
And has been played in 27.
Gotcha.
Got it.
In the meantime, it is worth mentioning, guys, that Hot Slady is going to play their first Genji ever. Just like Soa did in the last game.
And the answer to... just quickly, the answer to... the chat there, I use Master League stats. Brilliant for all your professional stat needs for professional tournaments.
It's masterleague.net, isn't it?
That's the one.
There we go. It's a really nice source if you're into the more, you know, analytical stuff. If you care about more than just win losses ratios and stuff like that. If you really want to dive into the thick of things, getting statistics about map choices and hero bans, draft involvement, I can only recommend checking out Master League. It's a wonderful website.
Indeed, and this is the case. The majority of the times, if you see a caster on a tablet in a Heroes tournament, there's a good chance they're either on Twitter or Master League. So those are like the two go-to websites. For now, though, we do see an Uther and a Greymane, Lockdown and Burst Protection, along with Burst Damage.
Yep. Here we go. That's pretty solid. Uther Greymane, always nice to see. Arthas, though, I love that call. Not only because Arthas is great against any form of melee, which could, of course, refer to Greymane as well, but most importantly, I'm happy about Arthas because Carlo is an absolute legend on that hero. Combine that, of course, with a Rhaegar, and you're going to find yourself an almost unkillable frontliner. And already, the way this draft is going, I like Hot Lady and what they're doing.
It's a very, very Hot Lady-esque draft. It's other than the Genji, which is new, but it is safe and turtley, at least for the moment. And then the second they need to, they have the Genji to just turn up and just go in.
Once again, the big beatdown, the website we were talking about is masterleague.net. You will find all the statistics concerning professional Heroes of the Storm that you could ever hope for. That's the last I'm going to say, though.
The people behind that are brilliant.
Yeah.
And yes, we won't talk about it forever, as we do see the second ban phase. Soa, what are we going to see? We already see Boss Lady covering most of their bases, just range damage, tank, and support. So, Soa at the Falstad. Alright, so they were it was considered. It makes it into a draft in one form or another, and Malthai Hell is removed. Goodbye.
Yeah, Fei, of course, despite not being able to win the last game, he's always a force that you need to be aware of, especially if you combine it with the Uther once again. An unstoppable, unkillable Malthael is very, very scary, so they don't even want to risk it. And fair enough, though, because I think one of the few heroes that can truly challenge an Arthas is Malthael. Same goes for other warriors in general. So now there isn't really a lot of tank shredding left available, at least not tank shredding that China loves to run. They normally don't run the Tigers anymore. They normally don't run the Leoric, although it's been seeing a little bit more play.
Indeed. So we have Tychus, like you said, and Leoric. Anyone with Giant Killer. There's Valor, who does have Manticore, which can be taken with a multi-shot build.
No. Okay, maybe.
It can be taken with a multi-shot.
I thought you were falling back into your auto-attack habits here, Thatcher. No, okay.
Everything that auto-attack build does is done better by the other builds.
Okay.
It's just that Manticore is the one talent that can be taken with all of them, except for Manticore's a level 13 talent, right?
13 to 16. I think it's 13.
I will double check. If it's 13, then it doesn't fit as well with the Q build due to the fact that that's where the healing talent is. No, it's 16. So yeah, it could even go with the Q builds. Yeah, it goes with everything. It's just the only thing you miss out on is Frost Shots if you're going for the multi-shot build.
And I mean, Frost Shot is nice to have, but it's not going to make or break your build, as Tetra said.
No, of course not.
Yeah, there we go. So where are they going to end up picking your Hot Lady, that is? I would love to see another frontliner, potentially, and then, of course, go for a little bit of range damage. Chromie available. I would love to see a Chromie. Dropping those slowing sands near a tribute can single-handedly ruin your opponent's day, but they go for Lunara instead. Still a very pokey, poke-heavy hero, but against the Auriel Uther, man, I don't know. I would have loved to see a Chromie instead. What about you?
Both are fine. I think that they already have a turtley comp. I think Chromie doesn't really add to that, and it puts too much pressure on Genji to do the sustained damage. This is more reasonable. You now have Lunara for the sustained damage, and Genji is the finisher, which I think is a little bit more suitable.
Gotcha.
So I'm down with it. Wouldn't have minded second support, but that would have meant Genji's the only damage dealer, but that's fine. Sonya sort of fills in this as well. She adds a lot of burst that Chromie would have, just a lot closer, which puts a lot of pressure on Auriel. So they need a tank.
Can we just take a moment also to give a shout out to 365, the player you see on the bottom left right now for Hot Lady. Not only did he become a pro player again after being a caster in Phase 2, but in Phase 1, where he already competed, he was the main support player for Hot Lady. So not only did he shift his job, but also his role once again. And Tetra, we saw team compositions like Soa's in the past without any form of crowd control except Uther. We didn't like him.
Yep, and I'm willing to stick with this. I will like this for if it's Judgment. No, I lied. Its sanctification is just too good. Yeah. I would have preferred another tank, basically. I think Johanna, as much as she's not as comfortable as a solo tank anymore, I think I would have even leaned that above Tyrael here. Stitches was also available. They already had Uther.
True.
Muradin again. Yeah, there are options that I would have preferred. Quite a few.
So, let's see if Soa can basically prove us wrong. And I would love them to do so, because we want to be proven wrong. We want this game to become a 1-1, so all the teams are going to get at least a little bit of points. But judging from the drafts alone, I just can't help but feel that Soa overdid it a little bit on the sustain. With the Tyrael sanctification, the double support, I mean, they're going to be hard to kill, but they're not going to deal any damage. And they're also not going to be able to lock anyone down. So, free reign for Hot Lady's ranged assassins like the Lunara. Let's see how well that's going to work out. And also the Genji. If you don't have silences, if you don't have stuns to keep him in check, Genji's just going to rend and tear your backline apart.
The Lunara's damage, though, is going to run into a lot of issues with all that sustain. So it's going to be interesting. It's very much going to be a war of attrition. They picked Tyrael not into a team fight competition. They picked Tyrael into an attrition composition. Let's see how it works as we head into game number 2.
one last time. We're going to find out who's going to reign supreme here in HGC China. Is it going to be Hot's Lady or is it going to be Soa? For now, though, Hot's Lady represented by 365 on Lunara, again on Rhaegar, Lias we see on Sonya, Kit on Genji, and Carlo on Arthas. And
on the right, it is going to be Soa. Start over again. Play for them is going to be Faye on Uther, Uncle G on Ariel, TY on Greymane, Spark BZ on Tyrael, and Molly back on Valor. And we are seeing Sustain coming out from Tyrael. He is going for Regen Master here.
They really do not want to die at all. It is a clash of games, play styles, if you will, of team composition philosophies here. Full Sustain, full defense, if you will, by Soa, whereas we see a lot of aggression coming in from Hot's Lady, potentially the Sonya, the Lunara, the Genji, the Arthas. There's a lot of lockdown and there's a lot of aggression. Which playstyle is going to reign supreme? We're going to find out, but yeah, it's a good point you bring up there. The Regeneration Master is not a talent we're used to seeing on Tyrael, because normally you see Smite for him to be a little bit more aggressive, or sometimes, if things go really crazy, even in death.
These are two mega sustaining comps, and as such, challenge for you, if you can predict the first hero in this game to die, I will, at the next event we are at together, give you any beverage of your choosing.
Okay, on the side of Soa?
Within reason. I'm not like going to give you like a £1,000 wine or something like that.
Damn it. But on the side of Soa, correct?
Any team. Whichever team dies, whichever hero dies first.
Okay, so here's the gamble. I'm going to say that Uther is going to die first.
Okay. I will take that action. We'll see if you are correct. He's already getting a little bit poked. You're so far doing okay. He's dropping a lot of mana to keep himself alive due to this Lunara pressure.
There we go. I love how everybody in chat is now joining the game, basically. So once again, just if you happen to see Tetra at an event as well, he's going to have to buy you a drink as well. if you can bring me a screenshot of the chat and the death, then I will do so. Done.
But within reason, of course, when it comes to beverages.
All right. So let's keep a close eye here on the development of the whole early game, and let's see which hero is going to bite the dust first. I mean, it's going to be hard to say, though, whether Soa is going to lose a member at all if they play their team composition perfectly. Greymane, by the way, you can see is going for the Siege Giant camp, just like Sonya. Normally, when you hit the 2-minute mark, you want to send the strongest Merc camp clearer, or as Tetra would say, the strongest mercenarier, in order to deal with that.
We are seeing repeated defense coming in for Ariel here. Extra damage on that Detainment Strike. Uther has been left alone due to Greymane grabbing that camp, and as such, a tower has gone down. The tower does not count as the first death.
No, it does not.
We will not be including this.
Alright, Horadric Forging here, coming in for Tyrael, lowering the cooldown of Eldrin's Might whenever he hits enemy heroes. Very important, especially in terms of synergy with the Holy Ground later on. So if you play Tyrael, guys, especially on a map with a lot of choke points like Curse Hollow, you want to go for the level 4 and 16 Q synergy. Very important.
We're seeing a little bit of that adjustment coming in from Greymane, going for Wolfheart into Cocktail build. So this gives him a little bit of flexibility in whether he wants to go for auto attacks or for cocktails.
Yes,
Root
get him!
Uther makes it behind the wall.
Too close, but Faye, of course, is a player that is not tricked that easily. Interesting to observe how Faye, who used to be the main support player in the previous phases for Soa, is now become a support again. And that always happens when they play a double support comp with Uncle G normally taking one of them and Faye going for the other one.
It's cool to see. It's nice, especially a little bit of pressure onto Kid. He's going to have to be back if he's not careful. In fact, he does. Is anyone going to rotate up for him? Ooh, he's staying. Risky there, Kid. There's enough minions for Molly to attempt to dive, and the fort goes down.
It is not your time, Kid. I basically predicted the future. Don't worry about it. Uther is going to fall first.
Right now, he is surviving, as is everyone. Like I said, it's a sustaining game. Arthur self-sustained, Sonya self-sustained, Genji deflect, Rhaegar has Feral Heart. This is going to be a long time before a first death, in my opinion. We also have crap, I always talk about this sound, I can't remember what it's called. Energized Cord, there we go, for Ariel. Once again, going for this highest energy build. Not going for the searing lights this time, is instead going for the extra swing. Tribute going over to Hot's Lady here. Uncle G takes some damage, but gets healed up.
Yeah, and that's the second one. It all hails from the fact that Soa was a little bit too slow. Whoa, Faye just shocking that poor little Wispy. What a meanie.
Yeah, that was unnecessary, but satisfying. Yeah. I am down with it.
No, but the fact that Soa couldn't really posture up very nicely here and lost the second tribute as well is because they were too slow when it came down to doing the mercenary camp. Unfortunately, the tribute also spawned in a pretty far away location for them, so they got punished twice. Hold on. Molly.
A bit too far forward. These two teams scuffling for just over the camp. Just because Soa had a camp there, they tried to put some pressure on. That's actually, they get a tower and very nearly a second.
Wait, did I just lose my bet? The Wisp died first? Come on, that doesn't count, guys.
The Wisp doesn't count. Wisps don't count. Once that hero death count, goes to 1 for either team, which
yes!
the hero is the...
Get him, guys!
They've been out of position. Carlo roots him.
Nailed
Faye drops as the first blood. I hope you ape beverage, Kendrick, next time we see each other.
Fantastic. I mean... Kendrick the Prophet is now a title that I insist on having. You address me with every single broadcast.
Well done. I will take it. Well, as we do see the boss getting cleared up, I get to get a lot of damage. But there's here's a fun thing. So I recently, because I travel so much, I realized I haven't been gaining air miles, what I could have been. So I signed up for a company that gives air miles. I won't say which one because brands. On a HGC show. But it got an email. It told me, we're going to email you. You must hit confirm on this email to activate your account. The email was titled, My Lord. And then
did it have anything to do with your real nobility title?
Well, it asked me what my title was. I was going to be honest.
There we go.
But yes, that amused me.
For those of you who didn't know, Tetra is actually a lord in real life. We do not kid you.
Kendrick might buy one as well,
yeah.
Or maybe a ladyship.
Got it bookmark.
Kendrick.
Lady Kendricka Della Swish.
Oh, I was drinking Divine Storm coming out from Uther. Just the disengage tool here. But Molly getting slowed quite a bit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, we kind of ruined the climax here for this team fight, but nothing really happened anyway. Other than the fact that both teams win for the respective bosses, and both teams are going to take terrible damage at their keeps. However, the curse is just around the corner for the Hoss ladies. So what? They can't break through it. They're going to get this curse against them.
There is the curse coming in from Hot's Lady, but they are being driven back quite a bit. But look at the health bars in the backline here. This Lunara damage is so high.
It's so high indeed, and so they just need to go back. Even if they got a really good team fight here, Hot's Lady could just stall them out a little bit more and get so much value against the naked keeps here in the bottom on the side of Soa, and of course the naked forwards in the top lane. But huge value also being done by the red boss on the side of Soa, almost bringing that top keep down to 50%. And as a result, both teams are looking fairly even in terms of overall XP. And it looks to me like Hot's Lady won't even get a lot of value from this curse. Bottom keep, though, needs to be defended. I'm not sure why nobody on the side of Soa is even there.
Yeah, it's still taking damage. The minions are getting wrecked due to the curse, and as such, finally we see the rest of the heroes head down there to deal with this. But seriously, this poke potential, the Tyrael, yeah, the extra shielding is a good idea, but the healing is not enough coming in so far from Soa, and this Thornwood Vine definitely helping out.
Oh boy, and look at that bottom keep here on the side of Soa. The next boss, if Hot's Lady is to get the bottom boss, is definitely going to ruin their days and spawn some catapults here in the bottom. So, what does Soa need to do right now? Well, first and foremost, they need to go for team fights. They do have a team comp. While they might not be strong at initiating team fights, they can definitely out-sustain and live through those. So, just standing by idly in the long run is not going to give them too much value here, because as you can see, Hot's Lady in the driver's seat, going for building after building and structure after structure now with the Siege Giant camp behind them.
Down goes that fort, and that's the last fort. There we go. Rock finishes it off. The last fort that Soa had up, and they're finally going to, for their 4th attempt, finish off that mid fort, hopefully with that bruiser camp, and hopefully without them dying, because Tyrael is getting closed in on run. Tyrael gets out. They don't chase him down, except for Sonya, who is still going.
Yeah, 13 around the corner. That next minion wave should be enough experience. There we go. And now it is time for Soa to make a stand. They need to catch up in value somehow, but they just don't fight. They're scared of a single Arthas. Pulling back all... They're playing like a... I don't even know, like a group of chicken. And now TY is getting isolated here, but luckily for him, Hot Lady is not even close enough to capitalize on it.
Good positioning by Arthas, though, to prevent him from retreating to his team.
That was good. That was really good.
And take the amount of damage from Genji. Very nice.
Now, with all the poke that Hot Lady have, with the Genji, the Lunara, I think it's just a question of time until they actually destroy this bottom keep. Because look at the health, down to 10%. It's not a whole lot.
Yep, the minions did a number on that before Soa actually came and dealt with it. Hot Lady currently just clearing the lane. It's very unlikely that they intend to actually dive this. This is just, there is nothing else going on the map, and all that is currently available to take would be a keep, so we're not even going to try and take, but we are going to try and pressure.
Exactly, so they need to wait for the bottom boss to come back online. In the meantime, Greymane wasn't even participating in the defense, because there was another Siege Giant camp pushing in the top, so good map awareness by Soa. Hot Lady could have maybe played it a little bit more aggressively, but they don't need to, right? Oh, Turtle getting caught here. Can he get out? Oh,
absolutely not. Absolutely blown up. Did not stank in time. Dropped a little bit of counter damage onto Lias, but that was not good.
No Sank, no Crystal Aegis. I think Auriel was maybe a little bit too far away in order to drop the Crystal Aegis, but no Sanctification. Okay, so they kind of... That is a classic example of how a team values a global... Or, excuse me, a heroic ability cooldown more than an actual hero death. But look at what Hot Lady is using here. They're using the numbers advantage, and they're trying to go for the bottom boss, which is basically the equivalent of getting the bottom keep as a result as well. And as a result, Soa losing material, not worth it. They should have used one of the heroic abilities to keep him alive.
And they, for some reason, attempted to contest this boss, and as such, they will all lose their lives. Goodbye. And that might just be game over, because 30-second respawn timers, boss pushing keep. Oh, wow. Actually, they got 3 members of Hot Lady. Well, that is not expected. Faye now on the run. Here comes Spock PC. Not in time to save him.
Yeah, Tyrael is
they couldn't have members to save the game.
I think that was enough damage done. I totally agree. Unfortunately, the main damage sources, namely Genji and Sonya, are still left alive. So if they were extremely brave or foolish, however you want to put it, they could maybe go for the keep next to the boss. But as such, they're just going to be content and happy with the progress they've got, namely getting the keep. And if Tyrael doesn't really make it back in time, and... Okay, never mind, Vala's back. So I don't even think they're going to lose core shields, but they're going to lose the tribute for sure.
Yeah, but there are now catapults pushing in that bottom blade. The Curse Journey has once again started again for Hot Lady, grabbing their first tribute of their second rotation, having already grabbed that first curse.
And look how smartly they're playing this, going for double mercenary camps. Oftentimes when you play Hero League or Team League or Quick Match or any of the other casual, more casual game modes, you will see that the team is going for 1 mercenary camp at a time with 5 people. And that is a classic case of wasting resources. Instead, when you know what the enemy team is up to, you can share your resources, take many objectives at the same time. Of course, if you don't know where the enemy team is, or if you have no clue what they're up to, it's kind of risky to do so.
Right now we see a bit of posturing around mid lane and the boss area. Both teams scouting to see if the other one was doing it. Neither were, because they were both too busy scouting. As they, the Bruiser camps meet in the mid lane. Both teams posturing. Neither one's probably going to be able to get anything out of this other than just clearing each other's Bruiser. Although Sonya currently isn't here, but I don't think Soa noticed yet.
Yeah, I don't think they noticed either.
Actually, they would have noticed. Sora's looking top.
So there are a couple of objectives left available, like that mercenary camp in the bottom lane, for instance. Then we have the boss in the top lane. Unfortunately for Soa, they're not level 16, so as a result, they can't really contest this second tribute. I mean, it's not like this tribute. Don't start it. Come on. They just saw the tribute being taken to the bottom, so they must know that Hot Lady. Oh, that Wisp so cheeky.
Yeah, they back it up.
Oh,
they back it up.
Thank God. Thank God.
I don't know what they thought was going to happen. Boss is at least enough to go back to full health. There we go.
I mean, it might have been worth a shot, right? Maybe there were some mind games going on. Like Hot Lady was thinking that they would never be there, but in reality, they were there after all. So, yeah. But I mean, there's no way Soa can generally hope to even get this. I mean, they do have Holy Ground, though. They do have the Sanctification material as well. So in the end, if it comes down to a platform fight, they would have the better cards. Oh my goodness, 4-man group.
Storm was good. Sanctification is also pretty solid. TY takes a huge amount of damage. Oh, the slow was super good. The extra slow coming in from Lunara as we see everyone else being forced to retreat.
But that choke point actually made it so good for Soa to take a fight. The Sanctification hitting everyone, the Oriole heals as a result hitting everyone as well. A lot of sustain, and for the first time in this game, you could really see the team comp from Soa to come into fruition here, but that's going to be another curse Tetra. Look at that, Vala is defending in the bottom. Soa cannot contest this with 5 people.
They cannot. They are in serious trouble. That's going to be another curse. Soa do retreat. Also, I was wrong. It's not the extra slow. It is the extra range. Starwood Spear, as we can see her poking down there a little bit. The slow that she gets just from her W, though, still pretty decent. And, of course, it's the Earthgrass Totem that we saw that huge slow come in from.
Yeah. Speaking of slows in general, Hot Lady has an abundance of them. The movement speed slows from the Totem, from Arthas, who's Mr. Slow Incarnate, and, of course, speaking of which, by the way, we don't see an unfair advantage, surprisingly enough. Or do we? Oh, never mind. We see it. We see it. Never mind. I was going to say.
Indeed. So, now that you've mentioned that, I really want a James May Arthur skin. Captain Slow.
Captain Slow.
It's a good idea. As we see the keep slowly getting poked. This is just attrition now. Lunara just poking in poison damage. Aegis having to be used to keep TY alive.
Exactly, but the poke, of course, is powerful on the side of Hot Lady. But Soa, they're forced to defend multiple lanes at the same time. Material just blows up to pieces without any of the supports being in his vicinity, and that is a disaster for Soa. They're now 1 man down, and they might lose the final top keep here in middle as well. Oh boy, Soa, what happened to you? And I just don't know, man.
I mean, Material cleared the lane, and as such, they can't push any further. They actually all choke points.
Trade value
there in the jungle, and as such, the keep is alive. Very barely, and it will only take like a couple Thornwood vines to finish it off, but it is alive. And this is important because it's 1 less lane they have to deal with catapults. They've already taken 3% on their core from bot catapults while they were defending that.
Here's how Hot Lady could play this super safely if they were afraid to just straight up go for the boss, which they end up doing, which is perfectly fine. But normally if the enemy team were a little bit closer and you weren't really sure what to do, then you should have gone for the Siege Giant camp on the left-hand side first. The Siege Giants would have pushed the top lane, which then would have been the destruction of the top keep. And then you would have had enough time while the enemy team is defending the Siege Giants to go for the boss. But as a result, since they knew perfectly well where Soa was, they could go for the boss straight. And this, ladies and gentlemen, Tetra, could be a winning condition.
It really could be. Also, Daniel J. Newman is a genius. Arthas, James Arthas, double slow 7, license to chill. You are amazing, sir. That was incredible. As we see the full retreat from Hot Lady, not wanting to throw away their victory now when level 20 is approaching. They never mind. They're potentially looking to throw away their victory as they retreat away. Carlo tanking through with that Army of the Dead, though.
They're tanking through, but Hot Lady, they need to...
Divine Storm, go for the throw, finishes off Genji. TY backing up out of here. Good route onto Ariel. She's alive though. Cremate's killing everything. Tyrael gets blown up, but no 20. As we do see Soa killing 2 for 1.
Wait, is Hot Lady still going for this? Let's take a look at the health of the boss. 50%. Sonya at the core could mean the end of the game if they can shut her down. Fei, if he dies, no problem. Still has the Devotion, Holy Spirit. I think that's fine. Uncle G, on the other hand, must not fall. The boss is about to die. The 365 is about to die. And Hot Lady, they can't finish the game.
Arthas, the one surviving member with no mana, in full retreat. There's a tribute on the map. Sorry, that's not... yeah, that was Arthas. Great man trying to chase him down. Trying to get to him. The Wisp is just hiding in the base. Not exactly being very useful there.
Tetra, if Hot Lady... Wow. If Soa takes the boss in the top lane right now, they can push with it all the way through. They get level 20, and they can maybe end this game.
They can certainly try, as the tribute's taken. There's going to be no curse with this, but the boss might be exactly what they need. It is started here. Currently only 2 members here. Greymaid's on the way. Tyrael has just returned. Uther will be back in 17 seconds. However, there are now 4 members alive from Hot Lady. They're not contesting, though. They're grabbing their own bruiser camp instead.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they can contest this. Sonya still 10 seconds, Lunara 10 seconds as well. And now we see another replay here of that failed core attempt here. Beautiful fight though by Soa, fighting outside of their base, which was so important. The boss as a result not really a factor here, but look at Greymane. Look at Greymane, how he's gonna rend and tear through the backlines here, getting one. TY staying safe, shielded and healed, and going for another one. The Rengar, yum, taking a big bite of his dope brother. Loving it.
Loving it indeed, but now can Soa capitalize? They've not pushed with the boss. They're too concerned about the catapults in the bot lane.
Yeah, of course there's always a backdoor possibility here for Soa if they go to hammer that boss call. So I think the boss is just gonna get this keep. Or wait, it's not even getting the keep. Oh boy, but the curse, that's huge.
But they're about to get a curse, so they can go top and try and end there and just try and win one more team fight. It's basically gonna come down to a curse time team fight for Soa, because they have almost no reason to not go for mid or top core now.
Alright, so most importantly for Soa, that is going to relieve a lot of the lane pressure that they would have had to endure otherwise. Keep in mind that top keep is still standing strong.
Stop being so patient, Soa. They should be trying to capitalize on this curse. Instead, they're just waiting.
Exactly. With a 29% core and one keep down, technically speaking, the top keep, already being practically dead, they need to be the ones to make something happen. If they just wait it out, well, now that they don't even have any other chance to get another curse, they're just gonna be grinded out very, very slowly and painfully. Just make something happen, Soa. This is your best shot you're probably gonna have throughout the entirety of the game.
Might be, but only 20 seconds left on the curse. That's
what
enough to kill
are
top,
they doing?
But they're just, I think
they're too
in
afraid.
A situation
they're too afraid.
They're really scared of the back door. They're in a situation where they think their level 20s are better. They've finally seen the rest of Hot Lady's show. They know they are in their base right now, so now they're willing to push in, but with 5 seconds left on the curse, they have managed to achieve 1 tower.
That is not enough. But finally, they're starting to make a move. Finally, they're starting to go in and make something happen.
Yep.
All the lanes are de-pushed. Yeah, just when the curse finishes. But at least all the lanes are de-pushed. Mercenary camp still going strong at the bottom. That's very important for Soa. The top lane getting pressured. I don't even know why they don't go top. Like, that's such an easy keep for them to get.
That's the point. It's an easy keep for them to get. They're not going top because the minions will get that eventually. It's already pushed up thanks to the curse. If they go top, it means that Hot Lady will be top, and there's a chance it could be defended if they will try to overgreed for the poke. If they go mid, the minions will eventually work down top, and they can work on a fort that's still up and still technically within their chance of taking. Zank may have to be dropped here. No, it's fine. Very cautious poke from Hot Lady.
Yeah, but sooner or later, they're going to get pushed into the bottom again. Look at that. I mean, the mercenary camp has been dealt with on the side of Hot's Lady, and they can't hold this lane pressure up forever. They're going to try... Did Uther just use Holy Shock against the building? I didn't even know that was possible.
He is, because he's been consistently doing it this entire time, but as such, this keep will drop, because it's a super long range ability. One keep down, top still low. They can grab that later. Ariel, careful now. Uses the Shield of Faith. Not a huge amount of shielding, but enough to just remove a little bit of that Ariel Lunara poisoning. But here comes Halsey. They want to try and make a play. Sanctification! Holy Arena! Down he goes! The Divine Storm misses, but Genji is removed from the battlefield. And Soa are looking to try and make something happen. Looks like Bot Boss might be the name of the game.
Genji just got popped so quickly that Rengar couldn't even use the Ancestor Healing. There was simply no time. Not even the best Rengar in the world could have done that. So I just can't believe that Hot's Lady, they went for the fight and lost one of their hardest to kill members, the Genji. So many protection abilities in his arsenal, yet he was the first one to fall. Big misplay.
He was stunned. Holy Arena damage bonus from Tyrael. Absolutely devastating. Uh-oh. Where's Hot's Lady going? They know that they're in trouble now. And as such, oh man, this is going to be a disaster. They've just been scouted.
I think that's their only chance,
no, this is bad news. This might be the throne. Run away. Good route, good route. That might be it. Oh, never mind. Smart BZ chasing down. Carlo's going to drop here.
Okay, that was actually kind of close. Arthur's doing a great job here, Carlo, that is, to keep everyone at bay. And they're buying enough time, I think, for the boss to not get the full potential. If Carlo ends up dying, though, they're going to be in another 4 versus 5 situation.
Bot is getting wrecked by catapults as a heads up. This boss has been cleared. He's bought time. And 60 seconds for their own boss. Valor has beamed back to deal with the catapults on the base of Soa. Top lane, Keep is still alive for both teams, despite both of them being made out of paper mache. And top boss still not spawning. It's taking too long, Soa. They're like, hurry up, boss, get back here, lazy tyke. And they're finally going to be able to start it, but they don't have their main damage dealer Valor with them.
Okay, firstly, ain't nobody got time for that tribute. Nobody cares about that. Hots Lady shouldn't even be there. And secondly, Vala is not there yet to really apply all that damage on the boss, right? Hots Lady is completely oblivious of that boss, or they are just not brave enough to go there. 4 versus 5. Keep in mind, Arthur's still dead for another 20 seconds.
Yep, Wisp sees it, and with no Arthurs, there's no way they could contest it anyway. Immediate ports, due to the fact that Wisp saw that the boss attempt was being done, so know they have to retreat. The good thing is, this boss will guarantee them that top keep, and Arthurs is not here, so there's no way Hots Lady can end the game with this. This is the perfect scenario for Soa. Their base is safe, they're guaranteeing themselves map value, and they even get their own mercenary camp. Beautiful play.
Fantastic. And we cannot underestimate the value of this mercenary camp, keeping the lane clean, preventing the enemy team to actually push in, and also giving a lot of vision, just in case Hots Lady were to think of going for another backdoor. But on the other hand, Tetcher, I can't believe that Soa will not be able to finish the game with this boss. Hots Lady, they need to go back right now. What is Soa going to do? They're still trying to posture around their base. They're too afraid, they're almost overly afraid of actually getting backdoored in their own base, in my opinion.
Well, this is fine. The War of Attrition works out in their favor. Their level 20 talents with Holy Arena, especially in Farflight Quiver, are insane. So they are in a pretty decent position to try and wait this out. They're moving in, though. Looks like they're, now that the boss is going to go down, they're not going to gain any shield value. Oh, they're here for the tower. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
Aww.
Keep in mind that the core hasn't dropped at all for Hots Lady. They were able to save the shields. The boss was not strong enough yet, which is insane after 26 minutes.
They're guiding into catapults, but they're going to back up here. They do. Oh, that's a good route, but no damage to follow up, even with the armor reduction. Genji from the side. Faye taking lots of damage. Ariel has lots of energy, though, to respond to this.
Yeah, and Kid on the Genji in particular, he needs to be so careful now not to overextend. That Uther double stun combo with the Hammer of Justice and the Divine Storm could really, really ruin his day. And how the tides have turned. Soa now in the aggression, and of course they're trying to go for that core, which is still not fully recovered.
Doing what they can. Remember, Holy Arena is ready, and this could be the team fight ability they need. Faye is a bit separated, though. Even if the Holy Arena drops, TY won't be in it, so they're just holding it. They're being so unbelievably patient, but is that what they need? Is patience what they need? No, it's not! Action's what they need, as Lunara, caught out of position, gets burst down. TY also dropping very, very low, moves over to Tyrael. Sanctification is dropped. TY survives. Lias gets Ancestral Throw, but the core is dropping. The shield of Faye from Ariel keeps everyone alive, and that is GG. Soa, with the patience of a saint, or maybe even an angel of justice, able to take the game and make it a 1-1.
The patience of a Soaint, if you will. That was fantastically done. At times, it was a little bit too patient, maybe. Don't get me wrong. I think Soa could have, at times, played it a little bit more aggressively, but we have to give kudos to them. They did not want to lose this series, and there was this permanent threat of them losing the core because it was down to 29%, and Hots Lady were kind of, you know, scuffling around to maybe get that killing blow.
Wow, that was a spectacular second match. Hots Lady were in control for so long, but perfect, like you said, potentially a bit too much patience, but better than too much brashness in this particular case for Soa. They were able to take the second game in the series. With those scores, Hots Lady will overtake RPG, putting RPG into last place. Soa will get 7 points, meaning that they are still 2 behind beyond the game. But it still works out reasonably for both teams. Any points are good points, but Soa showing that they have incredible crisis management.